We are live at 11:05. It must be closer to 11. Everybody's just now leaving. Eddie's walking out and Sean's gone. Josh is back. We tried to do this yesterday, but we had a phone failure at 2 minutes or something like that. But anyway, I think what today we're going to do, we've been busy. We took off last week. Josh was gone for a week, and I kind of had a vacation. Didn't have to think about what are we going to do at 11:05. So we're just going to do a big overview of what's going on at the shop. And this is no longer Larry A. This is now Larry's Blue Moon. So the Blue Moon's coming together. We threw the fenders on, and this is something we don't normally do, but you're allowed to do this because you just can't control yourself sometimes. We mocked the car up. We got everything fitting the way it needed to be and had it going, ready to go. But I just wanted to see what it looked like with the grill and the hood on. And I'm sure that Larry wanted to see his Blue Moon with the hood and the grill. So these aren't really on permanently. I just threw that on and just set that on and fastened it enough so it don't fall off. So we're at a point now where we're basically assembling this car. It's already been assembled one time, and the key component places. Now remember, when you're putting fenders and that in, I probably talked about this before, but you kind of start from this area. So I've started from this area. I've got my fenders bolted together to my running boards. I've got these out loose. I've got all my body bolts into the body. The body's where it belongs. I've got the braces on there. So I'm going to start tightening up some of the rest of it I've got here. And I'm going to get all the way through the car and get everything tight and then get it down. Fenders can be tricky to get to fit right and to bolt on. We had Michelangelo come. He did some really cool flames. It really fits the design of the car. I like it a lot, and especially I bet when you put this in the sun, there's some real depth in there. So it fits the Blue Moon theme. On the back of this car, we went ahead and we made this rear panel. This panel is for license plate, and it's open there. I don't know what I was thinking, but I painted this silver at first. And I looked at it, it's like, that don't belong silver. So this will go back here, and it'll fit up under here and bolt in. But what Larry wants us to do is put an actual logo of a moon in here. So it's going to have a moon here. So we'll get that. This needs to get over to Michael, and he's going to do that maybe next week. And we'll get this bolted on. So right now where we're at on this project, every day we'll be doing a little bit as far as just finishing that. He's already put the interior together. So it's mostly just bolt that in. We had a gas tank, and then we changed how we wanted to do that. So we built a different gas tank. It'll fit in there to get more room. So it's time to start wiring this one and start putting it together. I may start with the front end though and get the grill shell together, and surely this gets an insert. Maybe do that this week. So we're going to go through a whole different one. Here's another car we got going on, and kind of the deal is, let us know with your questions and comments. What do you want to see specifically? Some of it we can video, and we can't do it all. There's only one 11:05 in every day, and there's only 5 days in the week. So, and we try to do one every day. So, if you have some ideas of what you'd really like to see us do, or what aspect of the car, we can kind of try to schedule a little bit so that you can see that at least at some point in it. We're waiting on chrome. I mean, we're just kind of at a screeching halt until we get some chrome. This car is stuck, but it's going to be a turnkey, so we'll be assembling this one here pretty soon. This is, what's the first name?
Matt.
Matt. So that's Matt's car coming together. We got on there what we call aqua flame. So that's our aqua flame. We've sold a lot of cars with that style of flame. We got a great big poster of that in our showroom. Now again, don't normally do this, and I did this for me, not Larry. So this is Larry T, and Larry, we don't want to have Larry T very much longer. So this is Larry's, give me a name. We got to have some name for this car. So does it have a name? Did he ever name it? Larry, any cool car out there has a name. I'm sorry, but you just got to name your car.
Black Knight.
The Black Knight. I like that. I do like that. It's kind of got that. Yeah, I do like that. We have named some cars for people. I don't know if they liked it or not, but it's stuck. So we got, and can you get a close-up of this? This is looking, I really like it. It's slick. We got it around here. You know, you're going to have your radiator bolted on, and some areas like this in here, you don't see it, so you don't need to put the extra time in getting it slick. But areas like this up in here, I mean, you'll see this, and around the front, Larry wanted these covered, so instead of being open, we've got that. We'll have a spreader bar come out here. It's going to be kind of an angled chrome one. These are some, I mentioned that about a light. Is there such a thing as a bullet-looking light that, and he found one. This has got not just a turn signal, but it's got a turn signal and a running light in here. It's LED. It's way cool. So when that gets bolted in, it's neat. Your shocks will come off of here. He's got some, like they're aluminum bodied, maybe chrome shocks coming down here. So this one's coming together. The chassis is painted. This is for a tall T, a 27 tall T. Has a removable trans cross member. Right now we're in the process of putting the motor and trans together and painting the motor and all that. So we'll be assembling this. It's got a really, really cool front end, aluminum I-beam drop axle with some oval cutouts in it. Really neat. We may do a product preview. We got us a lift. We were going to get a used one and almost got it and was like, wait a minute, why are we going to buy a used one? We got all the time to go get it. We got to take it down and all the energy and effort. We got this one to the door. There it is. It's on the loading dock. All we got to do is take it apart and put it together. We may do a product preview on that as we put it up. And it's kind of a low dollar lift. I don't know what we got this thing for to the door, but it was under $2,000 for sure.
Corporate bought it and just sent it here, so we have no idea.
Yeah, corporate sent it and said, okay, here you go. Rodneys Car. What is the deal? We ordered some air shocks, and then we found just the ones we wanted. We're putting air shocks on this. This is the car we extended the cowl section 5 inches on it, and we're doing a different top on it with a window, and we've changed a bunch of things. But we were going to do air shocks in the back, found the ones we liked, and now you can't even get a hold of the company, can you? They don't answer the phone, so we're kind of stuck on that. So once we get those air shocks, we can get this on, we can get the car coming back together. We got the motor, we got to move the motor back. It's got a blower motor, which it didn't have when we built on it. So we moved the motor back a couple inches. That's all done. So that car's sitting over there. You can kind of see it over there, ready to get this rear end done. This is pretty cool coming up. We got to have this done here fairly soon, don't we? This is a 27. Doesn't look like that because these are modified Model A fenders with running boards and kind of a modified Model A rear fender. So we've taken our 27, put it on a chassis with a spring over front end, made a fender package for it. We modified these, like I said, to fit it, so it's a much rounder, swoopier front end on a fender package on a 27. So when this comes together, we need to make sure we get some video of this and at least a product preview, because I don't think we've ever done one, have we?
No.
This car, way cool. You need some big tires. There you go. You got some big tires. Eddie's been working on this one, rolling plate. You can kind of see here. Let me open the door on that side. There you go. He's got some windlace in. You can see he just cuts and sews, puts a piece of foam inside of there, and then this will be around. As he got it installed on this side, as he was going to lunch, he'd go, got my windlace on one side, so there you go, that's in. This has got speakers in it, so this is kick panels. I know the speaker was kind of hitting on there, so he put a piece of wood. This is raised off of there a little bit so that this isn't hitting on the back side of it. But rolled and pleated, actually very difficult type of interior to do. So this one will be coming together. He's telling me it'll be done this week, so we'll see about that. But this is what is this? This is a panel for the back, probably behind the seats.
Yeah.
So he's got the door panels on, and he's got a big fiberglass headliner that's in his upholstery room. So we can probably show this just before it goes out the door. We're changing up our compressor, so I'm going to go in sales mode. Should I put my sales sheet on?
Sure.
You need a big compressor. We have a big compressor, and it is such a deal. What is it, about 60 horse?
Yes.
What do you want for it? We're going to be under 1,000 for sure.
Yes.
Make an offer. It needs a U-joint between the motor and the compressor, the screw, but such a deal. It's a Quincy something. This is a Quincy, isn't it?
Yes. 350, I believe.
Quincy 350. Yeah, Quincy 350, there you go. You need a big compressor. There's a big compressor for you. We're changing things up here a little bit, and we're not going to use that one. This is Steve Romero. Is that right? Oh, I
Yes.
don't need the last name, but Steve. Here's just a frame. Okay, so here, if you order a frame from us, and you want us to run brake lines, this is a 23. This is what you'd get. This is fixing to go on a pallet and be shipped to the customer. So brake lines are run, all the brackets are on it. Looks like it's got for 350 and a small block Chevy. Spring perch. So this is like perch get, something you'd get. Steve has got some crazy motor. We're talking a crazy motor. He sent a video of it, and as we progress on this, we'll show it. But we've got the cross member fitted. He's going to run a blower, and so this is a 32 frame. You can kind of see a 32 is always kind of stepped in on the sides, really cool looking. Especially if we're going to run a high boy look. We use like on our Model A on a 2829. It's a little narrow. We've pinched a 32 rail, and we've got a floor that you can put it on top of 32 rails. If you want a high boy look, it looks pretty cool. Where a Model A frame is just kind of flat on it. We're going to bob the back of this. I need to get with Steve and talk about, he's wanting us to put some weights in here. He's got so much engine that he needs to get more weight on the back. Normally that's not a problem that you have, but he wants to make it, make them tires stick a little bit better. This jig, and you can kind of see, kind of showing here. Sometimes you just need more room. So this jig we can modify it. We can push the whole front and back and still have a jig. So if we want to go with our stock like small block Chevy, the cross member's got to be in at about, 5 to 7 degree angle. We usually put them setting about 6 when we fit it on the jig. But you need to have an angle 6 degrees, 5 to 7 degrees. And so what we can do, we can push this whole front forward or back to fit the different width or the different depth of what we want our front cross member, which is pretty handy. So we're going to probably follow up on this as we build the whole. There'll be a trans tunnel. There'll be, it's a pretty elaborate transmission cross member in this one. They'll be bobbed in the back, and we're going to figure out how to probably get at least another 100 pounds in the back of this. We're going to stuff it in the frame. We decided to do that after the fact, after we boxed it in. But so that would be a jig for putting the chassis together after we got the rails boxed. I don't think we have any going with it being boxed. What are we going to show now? Our Sandblaster?
Yeah.
Well, we're not quite hooked up. Yeah, we talked about doing a product preview on the Sandblaster. So we're moving this. We're putting compressors on the outside, so that'll be a little while. But all right, for those of you, we did sell our big pipe fender. You missed the deal on it, so somebody got that deal. Well, it's gone, but we're going to get some new pipe fenders. This is the one we extended. I was talking about the airbags, so we extended it a little bit. We moved our motor mounts back. He's got a blower in this also, so that gives us a whole lot more room in the front for fitting that blower.
Just so Rodney knows, those aren't the motor mounts we're using. I think they just.
We talked about it. He was good with these.
Oh, okay.
With the rubber mounts.
Okay.
So, but they'll fit. The bolt will go right in. Yeah. So then we had a
Okay.
conversation about that. So that's all fitting, and all I need is the books. If I can find the books, we're good to go. Project. And this is my car, shop car, and we want. Josh is a big Razorback fan. We're going to paint this thing red and white and put the hogs on the valve covers, and here it sits 2 years later. Are we going to drive this car this summer? It's got a Corvette rear end, 32 rails on a 27, serious pinch on it. We got an I-beam axle on it, set up for a 350 Chevy.
I got a phrase for you if you want to close it.
Okay, what is that? You got something?
Yep. The most dangerous phrase in the language is, "We've always done it this way."
Oh, that is a pet peeve around here. When I've designed and built most everything, and sometimes they'll get off on their little tangents too, and what are you doing? Oh, we've always done it that way. Well, you heard the story about the ham and Grandma always cutting the ham in half. You've not heard that story?
I don't remember it.
Oh, I must go make my wife cut the end off the ham every time. And I was wondering, why you cut the end off the ham? And she, I don't know, my mom always did it. So she called her mom. My mom says, I don't know. My mom always did it. So she called her grandma and said, how come you always cut the end off the ham? Well, because my pot wasn't big enough to cook it in. So sometimes just because we do it that way, don't mean it's the best way. So, never done it this way before. We're doing it that way. If it works, we may do it again. This is coming together. Hopefully the Blue Moon is everything Larry expected. Larry T, hopefully we're going to call that by name next time we talk about it. That 35 or 32.5 window. I'm sorry, 32.3 window. We got a 5 window we need to build though, don't we?
Yes.
So that 32.3 window, that should be coming together. We've got a lot of projects. Tell us what you want to see and be specific. You know, do you want to see us putting the axle together on that? Do you want to see a wiring? Do you want to see, I mean, I got to put the grill in the grill shell. I got a lot of things to do. Be specific, we'll try to do that for you. Appreciate you being with us. We missed you last week. Hopefully you missed us, and we'll see you tomorrow.